And now, coming to the mic, your host, Jalen Walker.
What's up, guys? Welcome to 2021, and also welcome to Pound for Pound, the MMA podcast. I'm your host, Jalen Walker. Happy New Year, and thanks to everyone that tuned in all of 2020. We really appreciate it. We had a great year, and we're looking forward to growing even more in 2021. If you're listening to the podcast via Spotify, Apple Music, or any other streaming platform, make sure you also check us out on YouTube and subscribe if you don't mind. Much appreciated. Although there's no major MMA events for a couple more weeks, I'm here to keep you guys entertained and informed. Some incredible fights coming up here in January. Holloway versus Cater, Magny versus Chiesa, and of course McGregor versus Poirier 2. And also will Khabib make his return to the Octagon to fight either GSP or the winner of Conor versus Dustin. Also, big news for Bellator. They are moving to CBS Sports Network and also signed Joel Romero and Anthony Rumble Johnson. Exciting changes coming for that MMA organization. We'll break it all down and much more. Plus, we have a past guest on the show today, and I'm very excited to chat with him. But first, a message from our sponsor. Pound for Pound MMA podcast is sponsored by Manscaped. Manscaped is the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. It's a new year, which means a new you. Time to gear up and get yourself Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0. The Perfect Package 3.0 by Manscaped is the #1 recommended gift all year long, and it's not too late. Inside you'll find their Lawnmower 3.0, which is the best men's below-the-belt grooming trimmer, which can also be used on any part of the body. Hairy chest or back? Look no further. Hair down there? The Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0 is designed to reduce cuts and makes for a smooth trim. This 7,000 RPM trimmer has helped reduce manscaping accidents around the world. In addition, you'll find other liquid formulations inside the Perfect Package, like their Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, Crop Reviver Ball Toner, and Reduced Chafing Boxer Briefs. These formulations are all vegan, cruelty-free, dye-free, sulfate-free, and paraben-free, so you know your manhood is in good hands. So start 2021 out the right way and get the Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0. Save 20% off plus free shipping with code POUND4POUND at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code POUND4POUND at manscaped.com. All right. My guest today is no stranger to the Pound for Pound podcast. He fights out of AKA in San Jose, California, and is training with some of the sport's best athletes. He competed on Dana White's Contender Series last season, where he defeated Dinis Paiva, and has been grinding to get back in the Octagon at a new weight class. I'd like to welcome back to the podcast, Kyle Driscoll.
What's up, brother?
How you doing, man? Thanks for coming on again. Super excited. I didn't want to talk too much before the podcast because I wanted to save it for when we got on air. But welcome back. I had you back on in October after your Contender Series fight. We had great conversations, so I'm looking forward to this. How you been?
For sure. Good, man.
It's good.
In the new year.
Nice. Yeah, we were talking about that. Just a chill new year. Nothing too crazy?
No, just taking it easy.
Yeah. Did you watch any countdowns, or you just kind of just let it happen?
No.
I feel it.
Nah, just let it happen. Yesterday I watched football. It's a good day to be in Ohio.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Ohio State. I wanted UC to be in the playoffs because I'm in Cincinnati, but I'm glad Ohio State beat Clemson, and I hope they go on to win the whole thing. The rep Ohio.
Dude, that was a heartbreaker for Cincinnati.
Yeah. They played their asses off this season, and it sucks, but well, at least they'll take us more serious now from what it seems. But yeah, it's good.
They got their respect.
Yeah, for sure. But I was surprised Clemson got destroyed by Ohio State.
That was crazy.
I'm
a Justin Fields fan, though.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he really is. It was crazy because I was watching it, and then Ohio State just started taking off in the second quarter. So I put on the Lakers game, and that Lakers game was great. But I went back, and I was like, Jesus Christ, what happened? But yeah, It's all good.
It's like 42-14.
Yeah. Something crazy. But,
Yeah.
it was a blowout. But we'll see what happens. I hope Ohio State does win it all. But yeah, your Oklahoma Sooners, when you were here, you didn't have too much hope for them. But, they came in second in the Big 12, and they went on an 8-win streak and finished 9-2. So
Yeah, dude, we finished strong.
Yeah.
When we talked, we were in a rough patch.
yeah, you didn't have a lot of faith at all.
I know. I lost hope, but they battled back.
Yep, they did.
I think Spencer Rattler, he needed to be humbled a little bit, and I think he got humbled,
Yep.
and he realized that these guys in college football don't care about what you did in high school.
Nope.
They don't care. So, but he adjusted. Obviously, he made a good adjustment, and we came out with that bowl win. Hopefully, we have a good offseason and can get back to it next year.
For sure. But yeah, I don't know if you saw, but last week I did the pound for pound awards. I think I have it here. And AKA actually won Gym of the Year. So as a member of AKA, I just wanted you to accept their award since you're on here this week. I thought I'd show you that.
Team. Yeah, thank you, dude.
Of
we
course.
work hard.
For sure. Yeah, of course you got. Yeah, I mean, and then the whole Khabib against Justin Gaethje, like that just closed it out. Like that was such a strong showing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into that in a minute though.
I saw my boy Jimmy Flick got submission of the year.
Yeah. I mean that flying triangle is something else, man. I mean I had to give it to him. Only time I've seen that is on UFC 4 online. You know what I mean? Because it's like I think Donald Cerrone can do it or someone else, but when they got to put him in the game and give it to him.
Dude, when I was like maybe 15 or 16, first getting involved in this game, Jimmy Flick was very relevant on the pro scene in Tulsa. We're from the same city.
Yep.
So, I mean, I was a kid watching Jimmy Flick fight, and I'm happy. I couldn't be happier to see where he's at. He deserves it, dude. He's been chasing that for a long, long time, and he deserves it.
And he's nasty with it, dude. He's so good.
He's sick with it, man.
He's surprisingly good. You don't expect that from him. You know what I mean? It's like it just he'll get in there and it's just, oh wow, I didn't expect you to do that this time. Like he always gets the submission and he's so clean with it.
So clean and I think he won the LFA belt in like under 30 seconds.
Yeah, something like
Submitted
that.
The dude.
Like 27 seconds, I think, something like that. 29 seconds. But
yeah, man, I'm happy for him.
I mean, people don't understand how hard that is. It was a grown man jumping onto another grown man and wrapping his legs around his neck and pulling him to the ground. Like that is badass, man. Like
it was sick.
I'm so excited to see what he's gonna do in the UFC.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really pumped for him.
In that division too, if you're in that division, you have two performances like that, you're in the conversation. So
yeah, and I had him nominated for my fighter of the year, but I gave it to Figueiredo. Yeah. He was nominated in there.
Nice.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Figueiredo and then Adesanya, I believe, or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, dude, he's killing it. He really is. But some other stuff. You've been kind of coaching and training a little bit. Deron Wynn, is that how you pronounce his name?
Deron Wynn.
Deron Wynn. Yeah, dude, I was messaging you when you guys are there during that fight. Dude, he is a beast. I mean, I know it went to a unanimous. It was a unanimous decision, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he is a here. I think I got a picture. Let me put it up there. Dude, he is a beast in the ring.
Man, what people don't understand is this guy's been wrestling at a world-class level for over a decade. He was at Iowa State with Kevin Jackson, one of the best coaches in the world.
I didn't know that actually.
He was at Iowa State for maybe 3 years, and then he was at the Olympic Training Center for a while. So when he decides to wrestle, I mean, he can out-wrestle anybody in the world. He's just so fluid to transitions. Like when you stuff an angle, he's at a new angle. And he got the job done, Sometimes in this game, you just got to go get the job done. And he did. He got a new contract, and he's going to be going forward.
I mean, that's great, man. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I really didn't know who he was before you posted about him. And then I watched the fight, and I was like, man, yeah, he has a lot of potential here. Like, it was actually pretty entertaining. And I can see him, like, kind of upset because he wants that finish. But it was a great fight overall. And someone else you're working with, Romero Cotton, who's 5-0, who is a monster also, man. I mean, dude, I saw a picture of him. Like Jesus Christ! Like how tall is he? Like 5'10" or something like that. I think I have
Yeah,
his
he's like
stats here.
5'10", but he's just rocked up, dude.
Yeah,
He's
dude, he must hit like a truck just by looking at him, dude. That's insane. But yeah, he's 5-0. What do you expect from him? Like where's he fighting out of right now? Bellator?
yeah, he signed with Bellator. They got him straight out of college wrestling. He was a 3 or 4 time NCAA champ wrestler at Nebraska Kearney, and then Bellator picked him up right out of there.
Okay.
Uh, he's had some. He was on the front end of COVID, so his bout got scratched. He's had
Okay.
2 fights where he was supposed to show up in Chicago. Something happened with the dude. He couldn't fight, so he should be like 8-0, but he's only fought 5 times.
Yeah.
But now he's going to take a step up in competition. He's got a new contract.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he just
it's on
fought
him.
December 10th too, and he had a rear naked choke against Brian Miner, which, I mean, if you look at his other wins, he's TKO from a knee injury. Like, I don't even know what happened there, but it doesn't sound good. TKO from knees and punches, submission, rear naked choke, a split decision. Like, I mean, that's a savage resume so far. So
Yeah, he's got a bright future, dude. And
for sure.
he has a really good mindset. He wants to learn. He's showing up. He's learning. His jiu-jitsu's getting better. His striking's getting better. So there's only upside with him. He's gonna go on and do some big things in that Bellator division.
Hell yeah, and that's another thing I was talking about with Bellator. Like, it's so exciting. Like I just said, they signed with CBS Sports Network, and they got Joel Romero and Rumble, and like he can possibly be one of these guys that prevails and brings Bellator to a much bigger audience. Because we all could be honest here, Bellator doesn't get as much views as some of the other, I mean, the UFC and stuff like that. So I hope they become hand in hand, because there's amazing athletes in both of them. And yeah, I'm excited to see what he's gonna do. He's a sleeper. What gym is he part of? Is he with AKA or is he with someone else?
Romero Cotton?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's with us. He's
Okay.
AKA.
Okay. Just wondering.
Yeah,
Nice,
he
nice.
right out of college, he signed with Bellator, and then Bob Cook and them picked him up with Zinkin. So he's been out here for
Scouting him out, man.
Yeah.
Nice. And then I wanted to talk to you about, I think I'm pronouncing his name right. Do you know this guy, Marcus Buchecha? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Oh yeah. Marcus
Buchecha.
Buchecha,
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu beast.
Yeah, he's 13-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champ, and he just transitioned to the MMA, and he's going to be fighting with one championship. I don't know if you know this. But yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, he's going to be making his debut against Rug, I believe his name is. And yeah, DC said he's one of the best grapplers he's ever felt in his life. And I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I mean, I really didn't know who he was fully, but after seeing his face, I remember seeing him in videos just on YouTube here and there. And I mean, who knows what he can do? Who knows how, like, one championship isn't no joke. There's some heavy hitters in there, so he will be tested, but it's always exciting when you see someone transition to the MMA that's that good in a certain division, just like with Jermaine Durandamine, how good she was in kickboxing, and she came over into the MMA and dominated. So it's possible.
Yeah, it's fun seeing how they adapt to the new skill sets. And that's cool, ONE FC, because they picked up Yuri Simões. Yuri Simões is a multiple time, I think he's a 2-time ADCC world champ, and ONE FC picked him up, and he had his debut. It was a war, but yeah, he was training out here at AKA with us for that fight, and he went out there. But that's cool what ONE FC is doing. They're getting these top of the line jiu-jitsu guys, and they're signing them.
Yep.
Because one thing I think these jiu-jitsu guys, jiu-jitsu kind of diminishes your ego as you go through. You kind of realize that you always have to be open to learning. So these jiu-jitsu guys kind of take to striking and clinch and takedowns pretty well because they have an open mind to adapt. And I mean, if you're going to ONE FC off the jump, you have no choice but to adapt. Because like
Exactly.
there's no, you better be getting your sparring in.
Yeah, and these Brazilian
But
jiu-jitsu guys are so disciplined is one of the things too. You know what I mean?
very,
It's almost like the same like karate mindset. Like
oh yeah. And I think Buchecha, I think the only person he's lost to in recent history is Gordon Ryan in
interesting.
jiu-jitsu.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I think he lost the ADCC absolute finals or the semifinals to Gordon. It was the
Okay.
finals.
And how long ago
Uh,
was this? When was that? Do you remember?
the last ADCC. So last year, 2019 or
Okay, okay,
2020. I know
okay.
they do it every
Okay.
other year.
How old is he? Do you know? Is he in his 20s, 30s?
Dude, he's Brazilian. We don't know.
Just like Anderson Silva, it comes out years later.
Dude,
He's actually like 80-year-old right now. He's not
yeah,
even
he
his
looks
age.
22, but he's 31, or he looks 32 and he's
Dude,
19.
same with Jose Aldo, dude. Like he just fought, and I'm like, dude, every time he fights, it looks like they use the same picture over and over, but it's literally just him. Like it's insane,
Yeah,
man. Like
dude,
it's
I was there for Duran fought on that card, so we were there seeing Aldo on
yeah.
weight. Man, that dude is diced up, shredded to the
Jeez.
gill.
Whew. That
It's
must have been
crazy to
exciting,
see.
man. That must have been exciting. I mean, just I had Nicholas Mata on here 2 weeks ago, and he's trained with Jose Aldo and all of them out in Brazil when he was growing up, and just to know that and just to hear some of the stuff he was talking about, like, so cool, man. Like those guys are legit, man. Like they literally will
Oh
wake
yeah,
up and just go out and just run and then go and box and then run and then box and it's insane, man. And they'll just go up into the mountains and do it. You know what I mean? Like literally before he did his interview, he messaged me and he was like, "I got to come back down from the mountains for Wi-Fi, like because it's not that good up where they were, because they're just up there chilling and running and training it. It's beautiful,
that's
man.
sick.
Yeah, for sure. But what fight card that was? I can't get all
That was the
they.
last one of the year.
Yeah, yeah.
I forget which one.
It won't let me pull it up for some reason. I just had it.
Stephen Thompson
Yeah,
beat
yeah.
up
One
Jeff
Wonder
Neal. He
Boy.
looked great.
Who was the co-main for that
Was it
fight?
Greg Hardy or no? It was Aldo versus or no? It was
Yeah, Jose Aldo versus Vera,
Marlon. Yeah.
and then yeah, it was Williams versus Michelle. That fight. That's the one I was thinking of. That fight was insane. I thought Chaos won that fight. I really do.
Oh, I did too. Yeah, I did
I was a
too.
little upset about that because Chaos was on a run, and now he's 11-2. But it sucks because I think he won that fight, even though Michelle really did go off, and he didn't wasn't as crazy. I mean, he would do some off the cage Superman kicks, but he wasn't doing anything as crazy as he usually would because he knew it was almost make or break. Because I think if he would have lost this fight, it would have been over for him. To be honest with you, because that would have been
Dude,
three straight, I think.
I saw him on Wednesday. We had to go down and fill out paperwork, and I saw was it Michelle
Pereira, 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 Michelle Pereira.
Yeah, dude. On Wednesday, he couldn't even fill out paperwork. He was hunched over. His weight cut was horrible. His team was
Jeez.
holding him. So I don't know if that played part in it, but I was like, man, it's Wednesday. That's got to be rough.
I gotta ask you a question. How is it being there on fight week and you can do whatever you want? Like you can eat the food because some of these fighters go they're going to Abu Dhabi and stuff like that, and they can't eat the food because they're trying to cut weight and stuff like that. What's that experience like being a trainer or coach, being able to have the freedom to enjoy the experience a little bit more?
Oh, it was such a different experience as opposed because it was the same hotel from September fighting to
Exactly.
December
Because it's
being a
all the
corner.
Apex.
Dude, it's a whole different, I don't know. There's stress because, we got to make the weight. We got
Yeah.
to, your boy's fighting. But wow, to be able to eat,
Because some
home
of the
just,
food, because unlike the NBA, because the NBA had some messed up food in their bubble, whatever. Like the UFC, they got some good food. It looks like when I watched Embedded and they bring in some of those, man,
the
fine
one thing that
dining.
sucked was usually with the UFC after the fight, there's just a buffet of food. So after your fighter fights or you fight, you and your corner can go in and It's just a buffet of gourmet food.
Because you're done after
And
that.
that wasn't there because of COVID, so I
No.
was pretty upset about that.
That's upsetting. That's actually, I can imagine you just like so pumped, like your boy just got the win. You're just like, buffet, here we come, and just nothing. Here's a bag of Lay's. Get moving.
Yeah, get out of here.
No, that's hilarious. So I wanted to talk to you about food and stuff. On your Snap, I'm not gonna lie, man. Yesterday, that Instagram story of that 3-pound tomahawk steak, man, dude, holy.
My gosh.
That, oh my goodness. But you're doing this because you're getting up to 155. You teamed up with Christopher Camacho, a strength and conditioning coach who runs Camacho's strong training system to help transition you from 145 to 155. Tell me about that current transition and what made you go from featherweight to lightweight.
I felt when I was, and I believe we talked about this last time when I was on your show, those cuts to 45 were cutting into that like pop, that oomph on fight night. And just having to maintain, like I was doing crazy stuff, like crazy fasted workouts, going and sparring with very minimal food, just to maintain like a 168, 170 so I could make 145.
Yep.
And now being able to eat, I mean, so I teamed up with Camacho. He's, to me, he's the best in the industry.
Look at his Instagram page. He knows what he's doing.
He ran Triple G's camp. He's ran DC's. That's where I met him, was DC's camps.
I didn't know he did Triple C's camp.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And he's got this 22-week program written up. I'm probably like 10 weeks in, and it's all the stages. It's like, getting into it. Now we're in hypertrophy, or however you say it.
Yeah.
It's like the building muscle phase.
Yeah.
Because
you don't just want to gain weight. You want to gain weight the right way. You want to actually put it in the right places. Yeah.
Yeah. So everything right now is like 4 seconds on the way down, pause for 2, explode.
Okay.
4 seconds, 2, explode. Then the next month is 4 seconds down, 1 second, explode. And then we get into the fight phase, and that's when I want to start looking for fights like February, March.
Yeah.
But dude, this decision to go up was the best thing I've done. Like in all my training sessions,
more comfortable for you?
Yeah, I just feel so much stronger when I get a hold of people now, and I have more energy. So like when I want to enter on a shot or something, I'm able to run through. I'm able to flare the legs and really have the energy to move, like pass, go to mount, go to side, like wherever I'm at, what I got to do. It was the best decision I've made, and I couldn't be more excited for this next fight.
When I don't want to get into it too quick, but when you got a fight coming up anytime soon?
No, I've been talking to DC, just kind of asking him what I should do.
Yeah.
Because in my head, if I have to go get the LFA belt, I'm more than happy to. And I know that
man.
There's 2 guys fighting for the LFA belt, like January 16th. They're coming up. So, but DC keeps saying that, with the win on Contender, you kind of skip the line. So just stay ready. But
yeah, short notice, man. You never know, man. You're trying to fight in March. You got that Brunton Holland card coming up, March something. You got some other fights coming up in March. Like, honestly, like, I mean, come on. Like, yeah, like there's going to be some feelings. I don't want to like say anything bad about the people, but if 2020 is any representation for how 2021 is going to be, because it's just a year change. Not a lot's going to change. It's still the same scenario. There's going to be some droppage, and they're going to have people fill in. So, and now that you're at this comfortable weight, you don't got to do anything drastic or crazy to cut weight or anything like that. Yeah,
I'm confident that's where my next fight will be, in the UFC.
For sure, man.
Especially, my dad always taught me it's not what you know, it's who you know. And it's good having DC vouching for me. He knows the work I put in. He knows I'm ready. So, yeah, like you said, nothing's going to change with the fight game. We're in the same boat. So it's just waiting on the opportunity and making sure I'm ready.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to because I know you will be in the UFC most likely this year, because, you're a dominant fighter. Just that Contender Series bout was incredible, and you should have got a contract. But we talked about that. We don't need to we don't need to get back into it. But what are you looking forward to most fighting at 155?
Just that sustain, like the energy I can sustain in a fight, because when I go back and watch that last fight, even the third round was just mental because that weight cut took such a toll on me. That's what I'm looking for, is the pace I'm going to be able to push and the power I'm going to have. I can feel when I'm sparring with 16-ounce gloves on, just the contact I'm making. And I'm really looking forward to it, sitting down on these punches and putting a pace on these guys.
For sure. I saw you just partner with RDX Sports. Is that correct?
Yep.
What is that technically?
What is RDX? Or the partner? It's I believe they're out of Great Britain.
Okay.
It's kind of like their competitions Everlast. So they got, all the boxing, punching bags, shin guards, mitts, tie pads, whatever you need.
Like equipment, combat gear, stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah. Whoever's listening.
I was wondering. I saw it on there, and I was just wondering what it was about. But yeah, that's dope, man. But yeah, your record hasn't changed since you were back on here in October. You're still 12-3, 7-fight win streak, 5 KOs, 1 submission, 6 decision, and you haven't lost in 3 years. You got a solid record, man. Like it. I mean, it's a really nice resume. So I really do hope that your next fight will be in the UFC. But yeah, if you got to go get that LFA belt, man, just go snag that real quick and just add someone else to the resume.
Yeah, it's not whatever I got to do. I don't, to this point, nothing's been handed to me. I've had to take the long road here, and I'm more than willing to do what I got to do. But like I said, I'm very confident the next fight will be in the UFC. And then it's just those to me, those decisions got to be done. And I think making this jump up to 55 is going to get rid of those. I think I'm going to have that energy to find the finish and put these dudes out.
For sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, you had the power at 145, so it's going to be exciting to see how much power you have at 155. I know some people don't think it's that big of a difference, but there's a difference behind that extra 10 pounds. Plus, whatever you get. How much do you weigh going into the fight after you weigh in? How much do you add on?
Oh, I was making weight at 46 and then walking in the cage at like 71, 72. Yeah, it was crazy.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't think Dinis Paiva was coming in at 171 last fight.
No, he wasn't.
Jesus
Respect
Christ.
to that dude, though. He can scrap, man. Hats off to him.
Yeah, that was a really good fight, man.
He's a cool-ass dude. Since the fight, we kind of just followed each other. We ran into each other after the fight and chopped it up a little bit. And I like that stuff. I think it's necessary to get in the heated exchanges sometimes, and like every matchup's a different matchup, obviously.
Exactly.
But it's cool to fight someone that's that respectful, because to me it gets to the root of the martial arts. Let's go out there, let's throw it all on the line, and then it's all beautiful. We danced after.
Yeah.
You're
there to show your talent. You're there to show what you got, and then afterwards,
it was hard. He was so nice. It's usually I don't play that like before the fight. He was even really nice. He had like a nice energy. Yeah. But I mean, going in the UFC, I'm not paying too much attention to that. But there's no friends in there, dude.
Yeah.
I'm coming for all those dudes' head.
I mean, that's a mentality you gotta have, man, for sure. So I gotta ask, do you think Khabib is gonna come back and fight either Conor or GSP or the winner of Conor versus Dustin?
I don't think it's completely out of the cards. I think first of all, I think Conor's gonna start Poirier, and then
you think so?
Maybe. Yeah, I do.
I think people are sleeping on Poirier, man. I'm gonna watch Dustin come out here and drop like Conor in like the third, and I'm gonna message you and I'm gonna be like, It's just gonna be that. It's gonna be that nod emoji. Conor's dope and all, but dude, Dustin is a beast, man. Cause he stunned. Didn't he stun Khabib with one of the hits? Could have swore he got him. He got him with one little nice hit, and it like put Khabib off for a second. But it's Khabib. Nothing's stopping him. But
yeah, I would honestly rather see. Didn't GSP just recently said that he's getting ready for something, and him and his team have an announcement soon, right?
Yeah, but then he tweeted out the announcement's not a new fight. Wink, wink.
Oh.
But we don't know if wink, wink means like some. I don't know. I don't think they'll announce that until I think Khabib says. I think it would come from Khabib first instead of GSP, and I think GSP would give him that respect. And I don't know. And the thing is, like, Khabib's dad always wanted him to fight GSP, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he always wanted him to fight George. And I think there's a better chance, and even Khabib's manager, Ali, I think there's a better chance that Khabib fights GSP over Conor. I think he just wants a new opponent. I don't think he needs to prove anything. I think if he gets back in the Octagon with Conor, he might hurt him. Like, actually mess him up.
A fight I'm excited for is Islam Makhachev's fighting Drew Dober.
Yes.
That's a good fight.
Yes. That's a great fight coming up.
That's a really good fight.
Dude, let me pull up the other fights. Dude, there's so many good fights happening. Wait, where is it at? 1 second. Let me get to him. What's his name? God, I always forget his name. Nick Lentz versus Mike Grundy at featherweight. That fight's gonna be gnarly, and that's on the Max Holloway fight card. That's January 16th. That's the first fight card we get back, and then also Carlos Felipe versus Justin Tafa. That heavyweight bout's gonna be nuts, dude. Someone's getting knocked out because those dudes can swing. Those dudes can swing. Like this card, topped off with Max Holloway versus Calvin. Come on, man. They're coming out with the heat.
That's a sick fight.
They're coming out with the heat, man. That not only is that a sick fight, but those dudes have such high striking volume, but they're like Adesanya. They can hit hard, but they're more about accuracy. So they're just gonna go at it for like a couple rounds, and it's gonna. Whew, I'm excited. Yeah. I'm really excited for that fight. We're gonna see some. We're gonna see some bloodshed there, and then after that, go ahead.
Calvin Kattar's got sick boxing, man. He's got a sharp shooter.
And think about that against Max Holloway, also an incredible striker, man.
I think Brian Ortega is going to beat Volkanovski.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think that's a bad matchup for
you don't understand how much I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. If you can ask my friends, I'm a huge Brian Ortega fan. And
dude, he showed a lot against Korean Zombie.
Dude, he went off against the Korean Zombie. Dude, and if it was anybody else other than the Korean Zombie, he would have had him knocked out 10 times over. But the Korean Zombie literally got knocked out and wakes up. That's why they call him the Zombie. If it was anybody else, they would run like completely flat on the canvas. Like he was going off, man. Those combinations and sequences he was throwing. Whew.
One thing I noticed every time he shot, it was never to commit to taking him down. It was just to get his balance off so he could throw something off of it.
Exactly.
And it was beautiful. It threw Korean Zombie completely off, and it led to great timing, range, everything.
And the thing about Ortega, he might not fight like that next time. He might come out in a completely different way. Like who knows? That's the thing about him. He's so dynamic and so good. And yes, you're right. I think he will get the title 100%.
I think he's gonna snatch up Volkanovski's neck.
Even though that the real fight should be a rematch between Max Holloway versus Brian Ortega, because Max Holloway won that last fight. I don't care what anybody says. I'll put the hands up against anybody and I don't fight. Like I don't care. Like Max Holloway won that fight. Even Dana thinks he won that fight 100%.
He did.
But it's all good.
That was quarantine Max. I love his vibe.
Dude, before that fight, or like a week before that, he had a vlog where he ate, like he went on like a 2-day search for that KFC donut chicken sandwich when it was out at the time, and like he literally was eating it, and like people were freaking out. I'm like, dude, he had a bite. Like he's in shape. He's good. Like chill out. and they were trying to blame it on not eating healthy. I'm like, no, he got robbed. He completely got robbed. But it's all good.
He looked great.
He looked amazing. Oh, another good fight is Neil Magny versus Michael Chiesa. Like, that's gonna be a good fight. That's gonna be an incredible
that's a good fight. Were they potentially gonna move Neil Magny up to fight Leon Edwards?
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think they're waiting. Leon Edwards, his next fight is either gonna be Khamzat or someone higher in the division. Just because I don't think there's a point. I think they should just wait. Khamzat versus Leon. That's just such a good fight. Like, it's one of those fights where it's like you didn't know you won it until they said it, and it's one of those things that's been like stirring in the pot that's got a little bit of like oomph behind it now. Like we want to see what's gonna happen. Because I honestly I don't know what will happen. Like, I'm a huge Leon Edwards fan, but Khamzat is that boy is a beast.
He is, and I don't know. They got him skipping the line.
I mean,
you heard Wonder Boy. He felt a little disrespected. Says everyone should feel a little disrespected, but I mean, he's had 2-3 fights in the UFC, and now he's fighting the number 3 guy.
Leon Edwards is number 3.
Crazy.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if you know this. Like a month ago, they tried to take Leon Edwards off the leaderboards. I don't know if you heard about this. They tried to take him off, and then they were like, "Well, you're inactive. This isn't blah blah blah." And then he like called him up and said, "Well, I'm gonna like leave the UFC." And then like some stuff happened, some tweets got deleted, and then the next day he re-signed and he got his position back. So it was just a bunch of hearsay. Like, it was stupid, but I need to see that fight. I want to see Leon Edwards versus Jorge Masvidal. That is the one fight I want to see so bad, and I hope we get it one day. Fight. I want to see that just because I don't know. I just want to see that fight. I think that'd be incredible.
Isn't there talk of Colby Covington versus Masvidal?
Yeah, that's. Well, this is the thing. It's rumored from what people have been telling me. Like, I don't want to say anybody, but some people told me that the rumor is it's Jorge Masvidal, Colby Covington as the Ultimate Fighter coaches, and then they'll fight after that.
That'd be a entertaining Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. That would be incredible.
Those are 2 good coaches.
That's what you want. I think they're doing multiple weight classes too. I think they're doing 2 weight classes or so. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I think it's gonna be Jorge Masvidal versus Colby Covington for Ultimate Fighter, and that would be the most entertaining thing on television in the last 10 years.
Hell yeah, I'd tune in. That's great.
Can you imagine those 2 going back and forth? Because they're kind of friends, but rumor has it they're not cool anymore like that. Like, so
and they want to go make their money.
Yeah, 100%.
That's both of their whole deal.
Bro, I can just imagine some of the stupid stuff that Colby Covington is gonna try to come up with now, because his whole gimmick is gone. His whole fake persona, like, you know what I mean? Like, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. What do you think between the Conor and Dustin fight? Like, fully, like, how do you think Conor is gonna take Dustin out? Because you said you think he's gonna dust him.
I think Dustin gets hit too much, and he does. He's got sharp boxing,
Mm-hmm.
but if you watch the Dan Hooker fight, you know he's just there and he throws, but he's not really putting guys away. He's hurting you. He's touching you. And I was listening to Firas Zahabi, and he said it. He said Conor's got the touch of death, and he does. We'll see if it's still there. We haven't seen Conor do that in quite some time.
He had the shoulder of death against Cowboy.
He did have the shoulder of death. That's hilarious.
That was disgusting. I mean, in the toe too, man. I was so disappointed with that.
I think it's gonna take. I think it's inside a round. I don't
think so. I think either way it goes, I think they both can go past the midway mark of the second round into the third. 100%.
So so it's Conor versus Poirier.
Yeah, wait. I can pull it up for you right now.
Is there anything with Chandler, Gaethje, and Oliveira? Like, is there any matchup with that yet?
No. So,
because we can't forget the Bronx in this conversation anymore. He looked amazing.
Yeah, he really did. Like, and the thing about, dude, did you see Tony Ferguson's?
Dude,
Pause for a second.
Poor guy.
Oh my God. So like literally my Wi-Fi stopped completely right when it was like 5 seconds left when Tony's arm got pushed up at the angle. I know you know what I'm talking about. And I didn't know what happened. And I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, what? I reset my router real quick, brought it on, and I found the replay on Twitter. And I realized Tony stayed in, like, I couldn't believe it. Like, that dude is not human. He's
Did you
not
hear
human.
Tony said in a post-fight interview that he broke Charles in the first round?
Wait,
And
what?
then I heard, I don't know, it could be rumor speculation, but I heard after the fight, Tony Ferguson wanted to hit mitts in the back.
No way.
That's what I heard when I was cornering.
I mean, it
When I
sounds
was
like Tony
cornering,
Ferguson.
yeah, that's what people were saying at Duran's fight when we were waiting for weigh-in. Everyone, we were just kind of chopping it up with some people, and that's what they said.
This man has a potential torn ligaments in his elbow, possible broken elbow, got manhandled on the ground, which let me stop right there. He thought he could compete with Khabib. No offense to Tony Ferguson, great fighter, but Oliveira just put you in your place from someone that's
Yeah,
supposed to work amazing in the full guard on the bottom. I didn't
I think that, to me, that answered the question of that fight. I think it did for a lot
100%.
of people.
And it was a little different. Oliveira's a little bit longer than Khabib. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah, but
Ferguson,
if
yeah,
Oliveira, because Oliveira's jiu-jitsu game isn't even smashing top
yeah,
pressure. He's more of a like bottom
yeah,
throw submission from anywhere.
yeah,
And if he's smashing you, I think Khabib would have just mauled him.
exactly. And the sad thing is, we'll most likely never see Oliveira versus Khabib, but it's exciting to see possibly the next generation of that young fighter coming from,
I
because
would
he's like 20, isn't he? 2021, isn't he super young?
Charles Oliveira?
Yeah. How old is he?
Shit, I don't know. I thought he was more like I think he's kind of like my age, like 25, 26.
1 second. I'm actually really
I don't
interested.
know.
Oh my God, I botched this every time. He's 31. I thought Adesanya was in his 20s, and Adesanya's like 34 or something.
Hey, I would pay to watch Charles Oliveira grapple with Khabib.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That would be insane to
That'd
see
be
them fight. And it
yeah.
and the thing is, I have the rankings here. Where's it at? Yeah, he's number 3 now. Dude, people don't understand that he's ranked higher than Conor right now. Even though Conor just took Tony's spot at 4, because obviously that's just the right thing to do. But yeah, it sucks for Justin Gaethje because no one's talking about him right now fighting Khabib. I feel so bad. But he just fought him, and like he is the number 1 contender, but we're completely overlooking him right now, and that sucks. But he just
Yeah.
had his chance. Like, I think it sucks if they bring GSP out of nowhere, but I think that could be potentially one of the biggest fights in UFC history. 100%.
You think GSP makes 55 again?
I think he can do it.
Yeah, I
I
saw a
think he
picture of
should.
him the other day.
Yeah, I
He
saw that one too. Yeah, he can do it.
said like a 3-day water fast, and he looked insane.
Yeah, dude, it's GSP. Only thing he said in an interview a while ago, and not being weird or anything, but he was like, I'm very agile, but I'm just not as flexible, and I can't do some of the things that I used to be able to do in a fight, which is completely understandable. I mean, but if he can get back to that or somewhere close, I honestly think he has a chance against Khabib. I really do. I
Yeah, you
honestly
always
do.
have to. I mean, to me,
He's the GOAT.
but yeah, he's the GOAT.
But
Coming up, that was my idol.
let's put it like this. Should Jordan come back to play 1-on-1 against LeBron? I mean, there's a little bit of an age difference there, but that's pretty much kind of what you're asking right now at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
Eh,
No. My answer to that's no.
Yeah. But I want to see it. I don't care. Yes, yes. I mean, even LeBron versus Jordan, I'll see that too. Oh,
Yeah.
pay-per-view immediately.
But we know how that's gonna go, you know.
Yeah.
But fighting's different. There's no telling.
Dude, it's just 2021 is going to be wild.
Yeah, I'm curious to see with all sports.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, not just with the UFC here, once that fuse gets lit on January 16th of that Max Holloway fight, or whatever the first fight of the year is, I think it's that one. like they're not gonna stop. Like look what they did during 2020. Like every week, they're not stopping. Like it's gonna be insane, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of these fights and to seeing you in the UFC hopefully here very, very soon.
Yeah, it's time, dude.
For sure.
Really looking forward to it. The work's being put in. I need Northern California to open up, that's for sure. But we're doing what we can out here. I'm fortunate to have a good team around me, and we're working hard doing the things we got to do. But I do know when the time comes, I'm going to be more than prepared. I'm going to show up. I'm going to whoop someone's ass, and I'm leaving with a bonus.
Sure, bro. That $50K bonus.
Yep.
100%. 100%.
Making it happen.
I feel that. Anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you want to promote? Shout out anybody?
Go back to RDX. Go to rdxsports.com. Give discount code Kyle RDX10. Get 10% off. Also, Manscaped. Shout out Manscaped.
Are you sponsored by Manscaped too?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
I used the lawnmower myself.
3.0. Yeah, they want to send me the one of the guys emailed me and said we'll send you the weed whacker nose trimmer. I was like, sure. Yeah, send it over. We'll show it on the show. Yeah.
I'm not saying no.
That's awesome.
It's one of those things that you're not gonna get it for yourself, but if it's sent to you, sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I need my listeners to go get it and use my code. It's a great product. I mean, honestly though, Manscaped is a phenomenal product. And it is very good quality. And even the presentation of the box I got and some of the packaging.
Dude, it's amazing, huh?
It's really nice, man. It's really nice.
Yeah, I'm a fan of their stuff.
For sure.
That's so true. The presentation when you first open it, you're like, okay.
Exactly.
This is cool.
Exactly. And like the message and like how the imprints on the box and stuff like that. Like you just think it's a regular shipping box and I thought that was really cool. They did a good job with that. But yeah, shout out Manscaped. Appreciate you. Appreciate you sponsoring this episode. And Kyle, I appreciate you coming on again. You know what? We'll have you on again very, very soon. Hopefully if you want to announce a fight or something, just let me know. We'll get you on here. We'll post it. Whatever's going on with you, just you know how to get in contact with me.
Stay tuned in, man.
For sure, sure, man. Thanks for coming
on. Having me on.
I appreciate the convo. You be safe, man. Thanks.
You too. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Later, brother.
Let's get it switched. Can you switch over to main cam, Drew, for me? Thank you. Appreciate you, Kyle, for coming on. Great guy, great fighter. Hoping the best for him. All right, there's no UFC, but I got some news. Me and Kyle kind of talked about it a little bit there. But yeah, I want to get into this. John Jones actually recently was tweeting and poking fun at Dominic and Jan and the thought of him being scared of the lightweight division. Jones tweeting this: I left the light heavyweight division because I was terrified of Dominic. Even though Jan was guaranteed the next title shot, and then once I don't know what he was trying to say there, something like that. I knew I made the right choice, blah, blah, blah. He put some emojis. The tweet didn't really make that sense, but then he said, this is the one that makes sense. Yep, just couldn't see myself beating Jan. His style is like nothing I've seen before. Weird emoji face. And I thought of fighting a middleweight striker in 2021 was the final straw. Figured Francis takedown defense was worse. Had to run. Brain emoji. So I don't know what he's rambling about, to be honest with you. But he recently said he has no point of going back to the light heavyweight division. He says it was strictly business. And I think Jones gets into these Twitter things and he thinks he's funny with his trolling. But if he would just be serious and just like stop and just leave it alone and just show it in the ring or Octagon when he gets to his fight, I think that's what we're looking forward to. Adesanya versus Jan just got scheduled, which is huge. That's what I meant to talk to Kyle about, but I forgot. But that's going to be an incredible, incredible, incredible fight. Cannot wait for that one. What else? Davidson Figueiredo, man, he wants to fight Henry Cejudo, which I am not opposed to. I think that would be an incredible fight for Henry Cejudo to return. If this fight happens after the rematch against Brandon Moreno, I think it would be the biggest fight that ever happened in the flyweight division. No offense to Brandon Moreno, because their last fight was the biggest fight in the flyweight division, but it's Henry Cejudo against Figueiredo, two of the best flyweights of all time at this point. Triple C against Figueiredo, yeah, that would be insane. Figueiredo quoted saying he wants a super fight for the BMF belt. If the UFC wants this, I'm in. It will be another great fight to add to my game. Then he said they could do a belt between 125 and 135 division. Set up a weight and see who's the baddest mother effer in the lightweights. Figueiredo also said, I want to fight Cejudo, man. He talks a lot. He's always talking about everyone. So I want to stop this guy. I want to shut his mouth. So some strong words from Figueiredo. Who knows what will really happen? We're not sure. But yeah, into the some more news. We were kind of talking about this a little bit. Bellator MMA made a major change to its broadcast plans in 2020 after moving from Paramount Network to CBS Sports Network. But the promotion isn't done yet, says President Scott Cooker, I believe is how you pronounce it. He's having conversations with executives at parent companies of Viacom, CBS, and potentially expanding the organization's footprint onto different networks, such as Showtime. I mean, if Bellator can make it to Showtime and be at that level, I think that would be great for the sport and for Bellator. There's nothing wrong with that. Scott said eventually getting on CBS is definitely a goal of ours. He's talking about main channel, local CBS. Events on Showtime would be amazing. That's definitely a goal of ours. Everything is up in the air right now, but I think we'll have some clarity in the next probably 2 or 4 weeks. We'll probably have some clarity on exactly what direction we're going to head. Speaking of Bellator, as I mentioned, Joel Romero and Anthony Rumble Johnson just signed with the Bellator. Man, oh man, it's going to be interesting. They're going to wipe through their divisions in Bellator, I bet, 100%. Neil Magny versus Michael Chiesa, January 20th, UFC Fight Island. Very excited for that fight. Also following, and right before that, or I think that's the wrong date I got there. I could be wrong. But the week before that is the real fight would be, that date's wrong. They have it wrong on the schedule because that would make the fight on a Friday unless Neil Magny versus Michael Chiesa would be Friday. I don't think so. Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar is January 16th, and then the week after that is the Neil Magny fight versus Michael. And then January 23rd is the Conor McGregor Dustin Poirier fight, and that's the one that most people are going to be tuning in for, even if they're not huge UFC fans, as always, just because it is Conor McGregor. And this is McGregor versus Poirier 2. Conor McGregor low-key destroyed Poirier in the first fight they had, but Poirier is a different fighter. I think he has a lot to look forward to. And the winner of this fight could potentially be fighting Khabib. But Khabib's manager said it's unlikely he'll come out of retirement to fight Conor, even less Poirier, if I'm being honest. He says it's more likely for him to fight GSP. Ali said, honestly, I think if GSP is seriously thinking about coming back to fight, I could see it happening. That would get Khabib up. St. Pierre is 39-year-old and hasn't fought since beating Michael Bisping in 2017. Khabib's father, who passed away from COVID-19 complications in July, always wanted his son to fight GSP. In regards to Conor's fight, Khabib's manager Ali also said, I think financially it's a huge fight, but we know Khabib. It's hard to persuade him financially. So, interesting theories getting thrown around here. I think Khabib's going to fight again. He's going to go for 30-0. Who will it be against? We're not sure. Hopefully GSP. That would be awesome. The GOAT versus the current GOAT. Let's get it. Sports haven't seen anything like it. It would be literally groundbreaking, to be honest with you, because I don't think there would be any other. Those two are at such a high point from being an MMA professional fighter, and just think about Khabib, who he is as the modern GOAT. in his division and pound for pound right now against GSP, who was the GOAT when he was around, and left the GOAT pretty much too. They're both unstoppable. I think it would be an insane fight. But yeah, some incredible fights coming up this year. Super excited. Super excited for this year of fights. We got about one more week of hiatus, and then the fights will be back on it. But in the meantime, we will be here next Saturday. And thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. I'm your host, Jalen Walker. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See ya.